everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for joining me this week. So this week it's going to be a short one. I'm going to be discussing the consequences of unethical AI use and some ideas on what the consequences are when we don't use AI ethically. So if you're interested, then please keep on watching. Okay, so this is a table from my book. It's the unethical consequences of uninformed AI use. Okay, and I'm going to add a couple of extras here. First one is invasion of privacy. Really be careful of the data that you put into any AI tool. I always say don't put any personal information in, such as your social security number or bank accounts. Don't even put people's full names. So in other words, when I'm analyzing data, qualitative data from the surveys that I give to teachers before my visit, if I'm going to analyze them using AI tools, I make sure that I remove their names so that we don't have any identifiable data. So just be really careful of putting in any personal data into any AI tool, whether it's used for training or not. Even if you've ticked the box to say, don't use my data for training, we still, it's a gray area, put it that way. Okay, number two, bias and discrimination. So we know that AI systems inherently they can amplify biases because the data that all AI tools are trained on is data from society. And we know that society inherently has biases and stereotypes. And so we've got to be really careful and mindful of bias and discrimination when we're using any kind of AI tool. The third point I want to talk about is undermining academic integrity. So AI tools can facilitate cheating and plagiarism. If students use them to generate essays or solve homework problems, we know that reasoning models are getting better and better in mathematics. And if students don't understand or just carry out their assignments, they're actually not understanding the work, not going through that cognitive challenge and the grapple and the productive struggle that they need to in order to learn. So we don't want AI use to undermine academic integrity, but we want to teach our students how to use AI tools with integrity and with ethics. Now, the next point's really interesting. It's about commercial exploitation. So there are many instances where educational institutions partner with AI vendors whose primary motive is profit rather than educational welfare of students. This could lead to the prioritization of commercial interests over educational quality or student needs. Now, I'm not going to name any names or companies, but there are so many educational AI tools out there. And we just have to be really mindful about the philosophy, the goal, and the intention of that particular tool. We don't want to, be commercially exploited when we're partnering with any AI tool or company. And so without me naming any names, let's just be aware of that. Okay. Number 5, security risk. Insufficient security measures for AI systems can lead to data breaches and leaks of sensitive student information, putting students at risk of identity theft and other harm. So that's to do with, if you're in the EU, your data protection officer or the person that's in charge of all the AI tools and the ed tech, or your technology director. You've got to ensure that all the data of students is protected within your system, whether it's an LMS or whether it's any AI tool. And then number 6 is neglecting ethical training and awareness. Failing to educate and train students and educators on the ethical use of AI, including the potential risks and responsibilities associated with these technologies, can lead to misuse and negative repercussions. So I cannot stress enough that we need to be explicit when we have ethical training, academic integrity training, and for everybody to be aware. Now, I'm going to add one more to this list, and I actually really explore this in my AI-powered pedagogy workshops. And it's the data centers and the energy and the electricity and the water that's used to power AI tools in the first place. So let's just be really mindful about the environmental impact of AI tools. And every time we hit that enter button and we create something, whether it's an image, whether it's a video, we're actually using a lot of electricity, and electricity in these dating centers and all the servers need to be cooled down. And the best, most efficient way at the moment to cool those centers down is to use water. So there's a lot of water that's actually used even just for your everyday AI generation creations, let's say. So just be aware of, the unethical consequences of uninformed AI use. I would also say the environmental factor. Let's be really aware that we're not impacting the environment and creating, as I keep talking about, AI slop. If you're going to create a video on the new VO2 or whichever model you're looking at, let's create a video that's going to enhance learning, or it's going to serve teachers in their educational practice to redefine education and not create AI slop. Okay, so they were just a few ideas about the uninformed use of AI tools and the consequences that could lead to that. Let's be really mindful every time we hit that enter button and we're creating something. I want to emphasize, let's move away from creating AI slop and create things that are meaningful for our students or meaningful for our practice, that serve learning and that don't cause a huge impact on the environment. They don't harm academic integrity. We teach our students about ethics and how to use tools and the other things in the table from my book. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you next time.